In this video, we will be seeing first addressing modes, and that will be continued with MCQs based on whatever we learn. So the first question is, what is addressing mode? You need to understand what it is. Now 8051, be it any controller or processor, we know they are capable of performing operation on numbers. All right. So they manipulate the numbers. So the question is, from where do they get these numbers? We don't call them as numbers, we call them as data. So where is this data and how does your microcontroller or your processor accesses these data? So what is addressing mode? It is the way in which MUSI tries to access the data. So this data can be anywhere. It can be inside the register. It can be an immediate value which you give in the instruction directly, or it is there inside some memory. Now memory can be internal, external, anything, or whether it is coming from some device, IO device. So this is what addressing mode is. Now before looking at the more questions, based on addressing modes, first let us see which are the addressing modes that 8051 supports. So there are 5 basic addressing modes in 8051. We will not see the instruction, the working of instruction in detail. We'll see that in the next video. In this video, I just want you to introduce to addressing modes and the MCQs related to them. So the first is immediate addressing mode. A very simple and straightforward addressing mode. The name itself says immediate. Now what immediate? In this you are giving the data that is to be, moved to any register or any memory location. Wherever you want to move the data, you'll give the data directly in the instruction. So you don't have to search where the data is. Looking at the instruction, you will get to know what is the data on which you want to perform operation. So the example is move a comma hash 37. Now this hash is very important. All right. So it is through this hash that you actually get to know that this is an example of immediate addressing mode. So this hash is very important. So the moment you look at this hash, you have to understand that this is an example of immediate addressing mode. What is this instruction doing? In this instruction, basically you are taking this 37H, this data, and you are moving it in accumulator. Okay. So this 37 is the source. All right. And A is the destination. Fine. So this is very simple addressing mode. Looking at the instruction, you come to know what is the data and where is it moving. It is going in your accumulator. Let us see the next example. Again, move R2 comma hash 80H. So 80H is your data which you are going to move it in R2. R2 is your source. In all instructions, in the right hand side, whatever you have in the right hand side, that is the source, and the left hand side is your destination. All right. So all I know in immediate is I have to check if there is number accompanied with hash. Okay, hash is important. Only if there is a hash, symbol in your instruction, you will say it's an example of immediate addressing mode. Now let us see the second addressing mode, that is register addressing mode. Again, here this is a very simple example, very simple addressing mode. When I say register, that simply means that the data has to be inside some register. In immediate, I've given the data directly in the instruction, right? You can see it. While looking at the instruction, you know what is the data. Now here, you don't know what is the data, but you will know where my data is. It has to be inside some register. So the example is add a comma R2. In this instruction, add a comma R2, one data is in R2, the other data is in accumulator, A register. You have to add them as the instruction says. So add the content of A and R2. And I said this right hand side, whatever is in the right hand side is your source. Okay. And whatever is there in the left hand side is your destination. When I say destination, it is very important for you to understand that whatever is the result, it will go in accumulator. Okay. So hence we call the register in the left hand side as destination. Though it is A plus R2 or you say R2 plus A, both mean the same. but after addition the data is going in accumulator. So hence we call it as destination. Next is INC DPTR. Now what is this instruction doing? Increment DPTR. DPTR is a 16-bit register in 8051, and this instruction will increase the content of DPTR. So here why we give it in, why do we say it is a register addressing mode example? Because the data on which you want to perform operation is present in the register. Okay, so this is a register, you have to go to that register and whatever operation you have to do, what is important is the data on which you are performing operation is must be in some register. Now let us see the next addressing mode, that is direct addressing mode. Now students get confused between immediate addressing mode and direct addressing mode. Remember, when I say direct addressing mode, it has got to do with memory. Okay, so when I say direct addressing mode, that means the data is definitely in the memory. Okay, it is in the memory. Now why direct? Because we are going to give the address of that memory location where my data is. Okay, I'm going to give the address of the memory location where the data is directly in the instruction. You don't have to guess which memory location the data is. I will give the address of the location will be given directly in the instruction itself. For example, all right, so you see a move a comma 31h. You don't have to get confused between immediate addressing mode and direct addressing mode. Both have number directly given in the instruction, but yes, in immediate you should have hash symbol. Okay, only if you have hash and then you have a number, that means it is the data. Okay, directly you have to move 37 in a. Okay, but if you don't have hash symbol, that means it is an example of direct addressing mode. Okay, so 31 is the address of the memory location. You will go to that memory location, whatever data is there, whatever data is present in, and in this memory location, that data you have to move in the accumulator, and you don't have to move 31h in accumulator. So this is the difference. So if you have a hash here, you will directly move 31 in a, but since you don't have hash here, that means this is not the data, this is address of the data. Okay, so this is address of the data, and where is that data? It is there in the memory. That data is there in the memory whose address is 31h. Go to that location, take the data and move it in accumulator. So it is move 31 comma 31h comma a. Again, there is some number which doesn't has hash before it, so it is example of direct addressing mode. Okay, this is very straightforward. But what is this instruction doing? A is your source. Now I said whatever is there in the left is your source, and whatever is there in the right becomes your destination. So whatever is there in a, okay, whatever is there in a, you have to move that data in the memory location whose address is 31h. So your content of accumulator will go to memory location whose address is 31h. Okay, again this is example of direct addressing mode since there is no hash before the number. And you cannot have move hash 31h comma a, right? Because I said this thing has to be your destination. So immediate data cannot be your destination. Destination has to be, register or memory location. All right, next example, push 04. I have deliberately included this example to make a point which is very important, that push and pop. Okay, push and pop are two instructions that are related to stack memory. Whenever I want to write in stack, we don't say writing in stack, we call it as push operation. And when we want to read from stack, we call it as pop operation. So whenever you want to read or write from your stack memory, we have to use push and pop, and that has to be accompanied with, only like you can address it using only direct addressing mode. So what is 04? Again, 04 is not the data since there's no hash. 04 is the address of memory location. So remember this, 04 is the address of memory location. You have to go to that memory location, and whatever push operation does, you have to do it. You are writing in stack memory. So here I make a very important point that when you want to, read or write anything in the stack memory, you have to use direct addressing mode only. You cannot have anything like push A, push R2, pop A. You cannot have that. It has to be a address of the memory location. Now let us see the next addressing mode. So the next addressing mode is indirect addressing mode. See, indirect, you are giving the address directly, right? You are directly giving the address. Now the name itself, when I say indirect addressing mode, that means you are not going to give the address of the data directly. So indirectly you have to give. Like for example, if I say I want to find Pratik, okay, so I will say in one way I say Pratik lives in flat number 502. So I've given the address directly. You don't have to hunt. Okay, 502 I give it directly. So that is the example of direct addressing mode. Now when I say Rohit knows where Pratik lives. So this is indirect way of giving address of Pratik. I'll first go to Rohit and then ask him exactly where Pratik is. So I hope you've understood. You will not give the address directly. You'll try to give it via some pointer. Okay, we call it as pointer, the one who points to memory location. So example is, you see the difference at the rate. In register addressing mode, there is no at the rate. Here you have at the rate. This at the rate plays very important role. It is this at the rate which distinguishes between register addressing mode and indirect addressing mode. Now here R0, you don't have to take the content of R0 and move it in B. It is not that way. When I say at the rate, that means whatever is there in R0, okay, whatever is present in R0, that will act as a pointer. Okay, that content will actually give the address of memory location. That is not the data that you want to move it in A. In fact, that is the address of your memory location. So you will take that content and you will use it as address. So when you use any register to give the address, we call it as pointer. So your very important MCQ question that can be asked is like, only R0 and R1 can be used as pointer. No other register can be used. Cannot have move B comma at the rate R2. That is invalid instruction. Only you can have at the rate R0 or at the rate R1. So again, I repeat, R0, you don't have to take content of R0 and move it in B. In fact, whatever is the content of R0, that will act as, that has the address of the data, and that data is present in some memory location. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now we'll see another example related to indirect addressing mode. All right, now here you have to take the content of accumulator and move it in a memory location, not in R1. But where you have to move it, which memory location, for that you need to go to R1. So whatever is there in R1, that is actually the address of memory location. So you have to go to that memory location whose address is there in R1 register. Okay. So now your source is A and destination is memory location. In the first example, your source was memory location and destination was a register. Here it is vice versa. So, if you just talk about addressing mode, you have to take care of this at the rate, and you have to remember this point that only R0 and R1 can be used, not R2, R3, R4, R5, R6 and R7. Only R0 and R1. Now let us see the last addressing mode. It is quite similar to your indirect addressing mode, but the name is index addressing mode. Now the word index means here, like in indirect addressing mode, you had only one register to give the address of memory location. Okay. Now here, what is index? Index means the address will be given indirectly only, but instead of having single register as a pointer, now you are going to use sum of two registers. Okay, So there has to be at the rate and one register plus other register. So we call it as indexed addressing mode. Example is move C A comma at the rate A. See, the moment you see A, you should know that it is indirect addressing mode. But since it is A plus DPTR, so you have some indexing here, right? A plus DPTR. So the address is given by DPTR plus A. And whatever you get as the sum, you will go to that memory location and move the content in accumulator. So again, this is not the data. This is again the address of the memory location. Now, what difference you should actually notice here is move C. It's not move. Now, what is this move? Move is fine. What is a C? C stands for code memory. And where do you store your code? We store our code in ROM. Okay. So when I say move C, you have to understand that I'm trying to access my ROM. Okay. I'm trying to access my ROM, whether it is internal or external. I'm trying to access my ROM using the address that I get after doing A plus DPTR. And whatever address I get, I take that content of ROM and move it in accumulator. So this can also be an important question like move C. When you see move C, it is used to access your code memory and code I store in ROM. That means I'm trying to access my ROM. Next example is same, instead of DPTR, you have A plus program counter. PC is a register program counter that is also 16-bit and DPTR is also 16-bit. So this is another example. This is indirect only because at the rate, you can see at the rate, but since you have this A plus extra thing, so we call it as indexed addressing mode. Next is move X. Okay. So now you, instead of C, you have X. X stands for external data memory. So if it is move C, it is pointing towards your ROM. And if it is move X, you are trying to access your external data memory. So these are the 5 addressing modes. So for immediate, you have to C for hash. If there are only 2 registers, that is your register addressing mode. If you have a number in instruction but there is no hash, that means it is example of direct addressing mode. If you have at the rate, so at the rate is definitely for indirect addressing mode. But if you have at the rate followed with 2 registers, sum of 2 registers, we call it as indexed addressing mode. Again, if you have move C, C stands for code, that is your ROM. And if you have move X, that is your external data memory. So these were the addressing modes. Now let us see the MCQs related to these addressing modes. Okay, so move DPTR comma hash 100H. Okay, 100H. What is this addressing mode? So you see this hash. I said whenever you see hash, you have to understand that it is immediate addressing mode. Move A comma P0. Now A is a register, P0 is your port 0 register. Both are registers. So your source is also register and your destination is also a register. So if source and destination both are registers, it is example of register addressing mode. Okay. So source and destination both are register. Next question. Move A comma 56H. So 56 is a number, but is there any hash here? There is no hash, correct? So if there is no hash, I said it will be direct addressing mode. Next. Move A comma, move DPTR comma A. So A is your source and you have to move that content in the destination register, that is DPTR. So definitely if source and destination, I said if source and destination both are registered, it is example of register addressing mode. But this is an invalid instruction. Why it is invalid? Because whenever you are moving from one register to another register, the size has to match. And here there is a size mismatch. A is 8-bit register, whereas DPTR is 16-bit register. So the size of your source and destination does not match. Fine. Hence, this is an invalid instruction. So you should not just see whether the source and destination are just registers. So plainly it is register addressing mode. You have to see that the size of your source and destination should be same. Okay, add R2 comma A. Correct. So again, your source is a register and your destination is also a register. And what operation you have to perform? You have to add. So register, it is register addressing mode. But again, this is an invalid instruction. Why this is invalid instruction? Because whenever you perform arithmetic operation, the destination has to be accumulator only. So whether it is subtract, whether it is add, the or multiplication, division, whatever you are doing, whenever you perform arithmetic operation, remember that the destination register is always accumulator, and hence this instruction is invalid. Next, the addressing mode for increment, you have to increment. Now at the rate, I said whenever you see at the rate, you have to, it should strike you that this is indirect addressing mode. So whatever is the content of R2, you don't have to increment that, but the content of R2 will actually give the address of memory location. Go to that memory location and perform the operation. But is this indirect addressing mode? No, this is again invalid instruction. Why? Because I mentioned earlier that only R0 and R1 can be used as pointer. No other register can be used as pointer for internal RAM. Okay. Hence, this is invalid instruction. If you would have INC at the rate R0 or INC at the rate R1, then definitely this is example of indirect addressing mode. Okay. Next, the addressing mode for instruction move R3 comma R7. Now, is there any problem with this instruction? Actually, no. R7 is a register, R3 is a register. You have to move the content of R7 in R3. Correct. So this is register to register, example of register addressing mode. But this is again invalid instruction. This register at this type of instruction, there is no opcode for such type of instruction in 8051. So opcodes are decided by the manufacturers. We cannot do anything. We cannot, design our new instruction. Whatever instructions are available, we have to use those instructions. So you don't have any opcode for this instruction, move R3 comma R7, and hence this is an invalid instruction. Now definitely, you have to remember this. There's no other way. You have to remember, you cannot have, move R3 comma R7, R2 comma R4. You cannot have these things. But still, if you want to do, you have to use direct addressing mode. So the instruction, the valid instruction for this is move 3 comma 7. Now what is 3? 3 is the address of R3. All right. And what is 7? It is the address of R7. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm moving the content of R7 to R3. But since register addressing mode is not valid, there is no opcode, I will use direct addressing mode to do the same thing. So please, make a note of this instruction, this question. This type of question is important since it is tricky. Let us see the next question. Move A, 2000H is an example of which addressing mode? So you see a number. All right, you see a number with no hash. There's no hash. If it would be hash, it would be immediate addressing mode, but there is no hash here. So is this example of immediate? No, this is example of direct addressing mode, where this 2000H is giving the address of memory location. But memory location, move is used with internal RAM. Okay, move C was used with code, and move X for external data memory. So move with some address, if you have, that means it is going to be pointing, it is going to point towards your internal RAM. You are accessing your internal RAM, and the address of internal RAM is 8-bit. So you cannot have a 16-bit address for your internal RAM, and hence this is invalid instruction. Okay, again the reason is move is used for internal RAM and the address of internal RAM is 8-bit, whereas 2000H is 16-bit, and hence this is an invalid instruction. So you definitely have to be careful while selecting the right option. Next, move X, right? X. X, you remember X, when I say X, it is external data memory. Okay, external data memory, and who is pointing? At the rate R1 is pointing. So when you have at the rate means indirect addressing mode and you don't have any indexing here. So which is the addressing mode? In this instruction, where is R1 pointing? The question is, where is R1 pointing? So you have to see this X. X stands for external data memory. So your R1 is pointing to external memory. It is pointing to external memory. If you would have move a comma at the rate R1, then it would be your internal RAM. Okay, so since you have this X, it is external memory. Now, is this question valid? Yes, it is. This instruction valid? It is absolutely valid instruction. You have an opcode for it. Push A is example of which addressing mode? Push. You remember push and pop used with stack memory? I mentioned it very clearly that push and pop can be used only with direct addressing mode. For direct addressing mode, you need to have some address here. You cannot have any register here. So again, this is example of invalid instruction, because if you are actually talking with your stack memory, you can have only direct addressing mode and no other addressing mode. Next, which addressing mode is used for accessing stack memory? I just mentioned it is direct addressing mode. Say true or false. Move A comma 56H is example of immediate addressing mode. So what will you see? There is a number. So there is a chance of it being immediate addressing mode. But for immediate addressing mode, we saw that hash symbol is compulsory. And there is no hash symbol here. Since there is no hash symbol here, it is not an example of immediate addressing mode. Can you think of which is the addressing mode? What is the right option for move A comma 56H? It is direct addressing mode. So 56 is the address of the memory location. You'll go to that location and whatever is present there, you will move it in accumulator. So definitely this is false because there is no hash here. So it is not immediate addressing mode. Thank you. Hope you have understood and you like the video. In the next video, I will come up with instructions of 8051. Thank you.